Yes, people, how's it going? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Another loss for Spurs, the second one in a week. Tottenham 0, Wolves 1, Spurs lose yet again at Molineux. And I'll be 100% honest with you, I expected it. I genuinely did expect it. I'm seeing a lot of people go, oh, we'll bounce back, we'll bounce back. I had no reason to believe we were going to bounce back today. There's something about away fixtures, this season where we've been so poor away from home. Our last two away games, we lost 1-0 to Sheffield United and 4-1 to Leicester. I just couldn't see it. I knew that the players' belief wouldn't really be there today. I was slightly wrong about that, and we'll elaborate on that, in a minute. But I didn't think we were going to win today, and we didn't. We didn't win. We didn't win by fine margins. We didn't win because we didn't take our chances in the first half. And they scored a brilliant goal. Credit to Adama Traore, it's an absolute peach. Good save from Lloris beforehand. There's nothing he can do about that goal, even if he stood up. It's a great strike off the bar and in. And Wolves lead. Late in the game they got a winner. Even when it was 0-0, I thought, okay, a draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world. It's not the best either, but I thought it was more likely that they nicked a goal than we scored one, and it was. That's exactly what happened. And look, credit to Wolves. They were really, really good in that second half. Completely different team, from when we played them at home earlier in the season. And you've got to admit the job that Lopetegies done there in, when they were in the relegation places to taking themselves out of a relegation battle is really, really good. But we looked at this run and said we've got to be winning these games, and we're not. We're not winning these games. We're not winning today against Wolves. We didn't beat Sheffield United. And out of our three biggest games of the season this week, with three biggest games of the season, we've lost two and still have another one to play. And for me, there's no point keeping Antonio Conte. Yes, he's been let down by the board, but the board aren't going anywhere. They're going to be here for another 20 to 25 years. I did a video on it the other day. Check it out. But the board aren't going anywhere, right? So we can blame the board, but in the situation we're in right now, the best option for me is to sack the manager. Conte, if we don't sack him, is going to leave at the end of the season. What is the point in keeping him now until the end of the season? Okay, we're in the Champions League. Are we really going to win it no matter who's at the helm this season? No. Not with these players. Not with these players. I think you've got to look at the situation and go, the best option now is to sack Conte, bring in a manager to at least start his project, to at least identify some targets in the summer, and go again last season. Or not last season, go again next season. I genuinely think that's the best option. People go, oh, you're blaming Conte. I'm not blaming Conte. Right, I'm not blaming Conte for this situation. I'm blaming Levy and Enoch, but they're not going anywhere. And Antonio Conte will leave at the end of the season anyway, if we don't sack him. I think the best option is to sack him, and the best person to bring in is Pochettino. And what the thing is about Pochettino? It would be the fairy tale. It would be the fairy tale if he comes back to Spurs and wins a trophy. But he's got to be properly back. We've got to stick with him. And people might call me fickle. I'd have Pochettino as our manager for the next 20 years. Genuinely, I wouldn't sack him no matter how bad things get, because I think you've got to give a long-term manager a plan. But Conte was never going to be a long-term manager. Jose was never going to be a long-term manager. They were smokescreen managers brought in by the board, to cover up their mistakes. And they brought both of them in with no plan. The best option for me now is to bring in a Thomas Frank and really rebuild like Pochettino did in his first spell, or bring back Poch and keep him. Don't sack him. Those are the best two options for me. But with the Conte situation now, I'm not blaming Conte for everything that's wrong with Spurs. I think he has a part to play in it, the way we've been playing this season. But I think, he should have better players, and that's down to Enoch and Leafy. But there is no point in keeping a manager till the end of the season if he's going to leave. 0 point whatsoever. Even if Conte says he's going to stay, will that really prompt Kane to stay now? Will that really prompt Son to stay? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I just feel so, and I'll be honest with you guys, disconnected from the club. Really disconnected from the club, and I haven't felt like this ever about Spurs. I haven't felt like this ever. We had the Poch era, which was great fun, and that's why I genuinely would be happy with Poch back. I've got such fond memories. We had the Jose era, which was painful. But even in that era, I didn't feel so disconnected. The game against Sheffield United sort of broke me, if I'm honest. It made me think, what's the point anymore? What have we actually got to anticipate as Spurs fans? So, look, best option to me is to sack Antonio Conte. Is today fully down to Conte? No. Does he have a part to play in it? Yes. It's him making the decisions who's telling Stellini. Some of the subs today were off again. The tactics were off in the second half. You're telling me that Conte told these players, or Stellini told these players, to sort of sit back in the second half on a 0-0. You know, or no, that's not how I meant to word it. Are you telling me that these players genuinely decided they were just going to sit back and ignore the manager in the second half? No, the manager told them to calm it down in the second half, which for me is stupid. I genuinely thought that today was decided on such fine margins. I thought in the first half we were brilliant. We were absolutely brilliant. We did everything but score. We were linking up well. Okay, Perisic could have done better, but we were linking up well. Porro was playing really, really well. Poor guy's played like 3 games and we've lost all 3. But anyway, Porro was playing well. He had some big chances. We had some big chances in that first half. But we didn't take them. Wolves scored, not a screamer, but a really, really good goal. And those are the fine margins. I think on the run of play and performances individually today as 2 teams separately, I'd argue that we were the better team. But, you know, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, to quote James Redmond, you know. But she doesn't, so she's not. Like, you know, if Spurs put away those chances, we didn't. It's another loss. 2 bad losses in a week. You look at our Prem record, it hasn't been that bad. You know, out of our last 6 games, when you're looking at it now, we've lost 2 and won 4. But people will talk about us being in the top 4. People talk about us still being in the Champions League. For me, top 4's papering over the cracks. Okay, we get Champions League football again. Like we're going to go on and win it next season. What's the point? What is the point, you know? Top 4 for me, the fact we're in it at the minute and 4 points clear with Newcastle having 2 games over us. That's just papering over the cracks. That is just papering over the cracks for me. Look, do I think we'll get top 5? I don't know. Does it really matter if we get top 4? Probably not. Maybe it might be better to be in the Europa League next season and properly focus on the league. You know, but look, those are my thoughts and opinions. I think it's time for Antonio Conte to go. It's sad because yet again a short-term manager was brought in with no plan. Similarly to Jose, you know, the owners appointed him with no plan. You know, you guys know I want the owners out, but we can say Enoch out as much as we want. They're not going anywhere. But look, the owners have let down another manager. I think the best option is to bring back Poch because he might be the only person who these owners actually give it a real go with. Genuinely, he might be. You know, the connection he has with the fans, the connection he has with some of these players. Just get Poch back in, man. Just get Poch back in. And look, people go, oh, you've been having a go at people who've been saying that all season. I have, but I've also stuck by my word and said, you know, if it all goes sour before the end of the season, then sack Antonio Conte. If we get knocked out of the cup, there's nothing really to fight for. And I don't believe there is. We've got a massive game on Wednesday. No matter who's the manager then, we'll be up for it. We'll try and get up for it. Do I think we'll win? Not based on the last 2 performances. You know, we played our A team today and lost again. But look, we'll see what happens. Do I think the manager will get sacked? No. I don't really understand why he wouldn't. I'll be honest with you. What is the actual point in keeping him? Look. Actually talking about the game, first half we were very good. Second half we were okay. Fine margins decide it again, and it's just another painful loss. Pain without love. Pain I can't get enough. To quote that song. I forgot what it's even called. I heard it in some wrestling show years ago. Anyway, I'm digressing. Enjoy whatever you're going to do. Just take your mind off the football, man. I feel disconnected from Spurs at the minute. I'm just going to chill out, you know, at a pub lunch this afternoon maybe. Just order a takeaway. Do what Pie Face says. You know, put a shit film on, order a takeaway, and you know the rest. But no, just enjoy your Saturday night and weekend, guys. I would say hopefully Liverpool drop points tomorrow. If they do, then okay, great, top 4. Just feels very flat. Feels very flat, if I'm being honest with you. Thank you all for watching this video. You guys are absolutely awesome. I want to thank you all for the support you've shown me and this channel. Take care of yourselves. All the best. God bless. And as always, come on you Spurs. In Conte. No, not in Conte we trust anymore. Not in Conte we trust. Genuinely. Come on you Spurs. Enoch can leave you out. It won't make a difference though. But look, have a nice weekend. Take care. All the best. See you later. Goodbye.